Today's card of the day is the One Ring. It's a new card from the Tales of Middle-earth. It's a 4-mana legendary artifact with indestructible. It also has when the One Ring enters battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. It also has at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each bird encounter on the One Ring. You can tap it to put a bird encounter on the One Ring, then draw a card for each bird encounter on the ring. This is honestly more than what I was looking for. I thought the set, at least a few cards, if not all, were going to be, I want to say relatively mediocre. Because looking at the Warhammer set, I think for the most part, unless you're going after some of the commanders, like the other cards were just generally mid. Like there aren't too many cards that I'd put in a deck. Although I will say there are some that are really spicy, that more so are just like the artifact ones. The rest of them, I don't know if I'd put them in a set. Although there's a lot of cool ones, like there's like that black Mycosynth Lattice kind of effect they printed. Pretty cool card. But I think generally most of them, if they're not the commanders, just weren't that good. And I want to say this one, like coming out the box, probably one of the best cards they might print in the set. It just seems generally good in most decks. This is 4 mana. You can draw up to 6 cards by the 3rd turn. It's just a one-time investment. Count me in. I know people do want to be very efficient with their cards in Commander, and with this card, the 4-mana investment, you can place in turn 3, or if you can power it out super early, you're just gonna go wild, buck wild, and that's really cool, because I think for the most part, people have been wanting card draw to be sort of ubiquitous behind every color, and this is exactly what it's bringing to everyone, and it's at a cost too, and it's a cost that I think some colors will just die for, especially like red or maybe even blue. But blue probably has better ways of doing this. But this is like repeatable, just like on the board, accumulate so much value kind of stuff. So it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. So just looking at this card, I think it's printed in. I'm thinking it's getting printed into Modern, if I'm not mistaken, which is a little different than I think the previous set where it was only printed into Commander, which I think could have some interesting implications because the cards like this mean, oh, if there's untapped shenanigans that you might be able to do, like a good combo enabler if you have like some twiddlers. I think that'd be interesting. But at 4 mana, I feel like that's fair. That's fair. But in Commander, oh, this is just good, right? Like if you're not playing any life gain, this is just like a simple 4-mana artifact that just draws cards and is sort of like a sort of Terry's Protection. Like this is probably good enough for most casual decks, and that like if they don't remove it, you're paying for it. And if your deck isn't built around having some way to sustain life, you're probably gonna die, right? Because I think the only thing I can think of right now that gets rid of artifacts for good is green and white that can like exile stuff. I guess you can play blue to bounce it back to your hand, to play it again for the sweet protection. But other than that, like those colors, other colors, like I guess black can sustain itself a bit, but I guess every color can sustain itself a bit with this effect besides red, because I think red wants an effect like this. But if you're in red and you play this, like how are you gonna stop yourself from dying? There's no life gain. There's no way to bounce this, because I think most of red's destruction spells or like artifact destruction spells are just that. They just destroy, they don't exile. So this is gonna be pretty rough for red, which, you know, it's fine. I think every other color has like a decent way of getting around this, except for black. Black has, although black does have a lot of life gain, which sort of offsets this. I think it will be an issue when you've already went through enough life and you haven't gotten your life gain spell. But maybe there's just like enough like ambient life gain in black decks that like this just won't matter. I think most people when looking at this card are like, how do you get rid of all the bird encounters on it? Once you get so many cards, it's like so easy. It's seemingly so easy to just add bird encounters out of it. It's interesting. That's definitely an interesting way to think about it. It's just like, yeah, you're gonna draw a card, but for the rest of the game, you're gonna be paying for it. So for I guess just thoughts, I think you're losing around more than, let's see, if you tap this 3 times, that means you're losing 10%, a little more than 10% of your life each turn on your upkeep. Mind you, EDH games don't last too long, but like, that's a good amount of life. That's like being swung at by a little thing, a little ding, a little ping every turn. And if you're playing this in casual, it's like getting swung at every turn and you don't have that much life gain, it's gonna kill you. Like that, you're probably gonna kill yourself, like for sure. But if you have a lot of life gain in your deck, like this for sure goes in life gain deck. If you have a way to bounce it, you can sort of abuse the protection clause, becomes like your build your own protection. This just means you just draw a lot of cards. You draw your deck. Oh, actually, you know what? I can imagine. Oh, geez. It's probably not a good combo, but like this with approach and like my white deck. Oh my goodness. The one thing I can't get behind is like, imagine you've drawn 5 cards off this, and just like you don't draw any more. You're just taking 5 damage every turn. 5 is a little, yeah. You just take 5 damage every turn. It's like, there's no reason why you shouldn't take 6 and just tap this to draw 6, right? Like you always want to draw more. I think that's interesting too, because this leads you into building sort of like a better deck. That means like a slimmer mana curve. But also with that in mind, it's like once you draw all these cards, how are you gonna dump your hand? Like these are good issues to have, but like I think super important because, oh, I don't know, maybe it just doesn't play out as what I think it is, because there was that one card like it wasn't as ubiquitous, which might be why it didn't catch on. Smuggler Sash that came in at like I think 6 mana, a green and then 6, right? Is that what it was? That was the pips, 2 greens and a 6 generic, and it was like at $30 when it came out, when it was revealed, and after a while no one bought it, no one. So maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Drawing cards is better than ramping, and you can get this out relatively early. Being generic means you don't have to. It's a little easier to get out. It can be put in any deck. If people are going fast, this will definitely. If people want to go fast, this will definitely push you there. Because I just imagine a lot of times you're playing something casual and you just draw a bunch of cards. Like either this wins you the game, or this loses you the game. Like this is. And I like this about this card too, because that life loss clause there is definitely something to mind, because it is indestructible and not everyone has exile. But because of that, listen, you're gonna need to build. You're gonna need some life gain around your deck, and I like that, because it means people are gonna have to take note of I guess relatively weaker mechanic in EDH, or hey, just find a way to remove the counters when you need, or if you have something that just uses counters and you need to move counters or something, this is gonna generate counters for you. That could be interesting. Oh, you know what? Oh, that'd be nasty if someone took like a Traxa and proliferated this. Oh, that's so nasty. Yeah, this card's gonna be sick. It's gonna be a sick card. But yeah, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be best in, honestly, like a green or white deck. I think green white will have the best opportunity to use this, because I think green has the life gain, it has the ramp to get it out early. And so when you dump your hand, it's like, what are you gonna do? Well, draw cards. There you go. And I don't think it'll be. It could be used in red, but I just worry that red's gonna die too fast from it, because it has the ramp, doesn't have the life gain, and it has the necessary like low mana cost cards that you want to use with all the cards you draw. So you can like dump your hand as soon as you draw your cards, right? And I'm thinking white for the same reason, sort of the same reason why you'd pick green, is because white has, I guess generally everyone has the ramp, right? Because everyone just play colors, mana rocks. But white has like the life gain, but also like a means of destroying it if it gets like two out there, right? So I think it's good in those colors. Blue might be good, but I think if you're playing blue, do you want to play this at sorcery speed? I don't know. If you're playing black, I think you already have cards that like lose life. That like, this probably already has like isn't a substitute for like the good black life loss cards that draw you cards. I don't know. Maybe there is enough. Oh, I guess no. I think black would want it too. Black, white, and green, Abzan, because black has things just like, yeah, black is the life color, right? They have a bunch of things that are just like, oh, if a creature dies, you gain a life. Like, that's a black thing. So if that's the case, and you're just destroying everything with the One Ring, oh my goodness, about to buzz with this kind of card. Anyway, this card is good. I like this card a lot. I think This will probably see play, and honestly, I would expect this to be see play in like CDH or higher. Yeah, this is a dope card. But of course, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Are you playing this card? Are you not playing this card? I'm gonna be doing a few more card reviews. They're gonna be sort of longer paced like this, just because I haven't done some Magic in a while. Been kind of busy, which is kind of rough because I've been playing other games, but I guess I just haven't been prioritizing it. Yeah, a lot of stuff to do. Anyways, what do you guys think about this card? Are you playing any deck? What decks does it not belong in? I'm interested in seeing like, what do you do with the counters? Is there anything to do with the counters, or is it just used as sort of like a means to draw cards? But then, what does that mean for your deck? Do you have to win after you draw that many cards? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with all the cards you draw? Yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below. Peace out, and I'll catch y'all later.